Good night, Shabbos, everyone. Have Shabbos Parshas Sisa, the Parsha of the golden calf. When the Torah writes to us about the golden calf, that short time after the Torah was given to us on Mount Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu went up 40 days, 40 nights. We miscalculated. We thought he was supposed to be coming back, but we made a mistake in our calculation, and we thought that because he didn't come back in the time that we thought he was going to come back, that he was dead. The Sultan got involved, helped show a little form of the dead Moshe. And the Torah tells us that when we built this golden calf, we looked at the calf, we looked at this thing that came out of the fire, and we said, Ele Elokecha Yisrael. We said, these are your gods, O Israel. These are your gods, O Israel, presuming that there were other gods that we were accepting also, and that this was a total breakdown in idolatry, a total breakdown in the system. Yet in the book of Nehemiah, when it talks about and recounts the sin of the golden calf, it says that we danced around the golden calf and we said, Zeh Elokecha asher elucha mimitzrayim. This is your God that took you out of Egypt, which is a direct trade-in, that this is now God, and it's not the God that we have known, but it's now this golden thing. It's not Elah that he's one of many of gods, and we've sort of diffused ourselves, but rather this is Zeh, pointing to it and saying this is God. We find also in the Torah when they came to Aaron, and they said to Aaron that they want him to build the golden calf, they said, Ki zeh Moshe ish, because this man Moshe is no longer with us, and therefore we need something else. So again, in this sin of the golden calf, we're using this word zeh, and yet, and the Medrash also tells us that chatu b'zeh, that we sinned with the word zeh when we said ki zeh Moshe ish, that the sin wasn't about saying that these are your gods, Ele Elokecha Yisrael, or even zeh Elokecha, or these are your gods, but rather because we said ki zeh Moshe ish, because we rejected Moshe. We said that Moshe was dead, and somehow we needed to replace Moshe. So the Medrash says, Chatu b'zeh, that we sinned with zeh, laku b'zeh, and that we were punished with zeh. Then in the time of the destruction of the temple, we said, Al-zah yod avei libenu, this is what our heart was broken about. And then we were comforted with zeh. Nachmu b'zeh, hinei Elokeinu zeh, kivinu lo v'yoshenu, that this is our God, kivinu lo, we've been waiting for him, v'yoshenu, he's going to save us. When God came to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he told him that they should give the machzah shekel, the half a shekel, which was an antidote. It was a way to clean up the sin of the golden calf. So Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't understand how this was going to clean up the golden calf, how some coin was going to do it. And therefore God showed him a coin of a fire. And he said to him, Zeh yitnu. He said to him, this is what you should give. And this is going to clean it up. What's this? Fiery coin? That's going to clean it up? What was God showing him? So we have to wonder that we find the word Elah used in the sin of the golden calf, these, and then we find the word Zeh, this. Well, what was the sin of the golden calf? Did we sin with a this, or did we sin with a these? Now, what's the difference between Elah and Zeh, between these and this? Elah, our rabbis tell us in the Talmud, means Ele Elokech, Ivu Leilokus Harbe, Aleph, Lamed, Hey, that we desired many, many gods. The word Zeh is this. Whenever we find the word Zeh in the Torah, whenever God pointed to the menorah or other things, and he pointed and said Zeh, when we crossed over the sea and we pointed to the sea and we said Zeh Keli Ganvelu, this is my God. Zeh is something that is focused, something that is clear and defined. Elah, Ivu Leilukus Harbe, is something that is diffuse, something that's not so clear and not so focused. It's something eclectic. These are my gods. I got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, one from column A, one from column B, a little Chinese menu Judaism. I'm into that. Elah Elokech Yisrael. These are your gods. You're a jack of all trades and a master of none. And the truth is that it's something that we desire. It's something that many people want. Because this way we're not bound or committed to anything which is before us. We're responsible to nothing. A lot of times people love dual membership in shuls. You belong to a very religious shul, you belong to a shul that's not so religious. When the shul that's not so religious or a different kind of religion starts to get on your nerves, you say, no, I'm really like those people. And then when that shul starts to get on your nerves, no, I'm really like those people. And then this way you're not committed to anything. Anytime it gets a little bit too difficult for you, anytime it gets a little bit too hot, it gets a little bit too compelling, we're able to say, oh no, that's not really me. I don't really identify with that. Being eclectic means that you're not loyal or bound to anything. Because, yeah, it's all good. It's being very, very fluid, very open, chilled out, very relaxed, and very undefined. The real chet of the egel, of the golden calf, was Eila Elokech Yisrael. The real sin was, like it says it in the Torah, that we said, Eila, these are your gods, that this was just another thing that was competing for our attention, another thing that was competing for our loyalty, and that we were happy with that because then we didn't have to claim loyalty to anything. When we went to Aaron and we said to him, Ki zeh Moshe ish, that this man Moshe, the Zeh of Moshe, Moshe was completely and perfectly attuned and atoned. He was focused. He was loyal. Moshe Rabbeinu was clear. And that's what they were rejecting. Ki zeh Moshe ish, the Zeh of Moshe is something we don't want. We want the Elah, we want to believe in God, but we also want to believe in this thing. We want to have a good time around this guy. We want to have this. We want other things to compete for our attention, other things to grab us, because we want to be diffuse. What's the antidote to that? Zeh Yitnu. That's what God taught Moshe Rabbeinu. The antidote to that is to focus yourself, to declare yourself, to say, this is who I am. Zeh Yitnu. This coin, the fiery coin, this coin that had this fire, this bren, this desire, this excitement, this enthusiasm to give and to connect and to attach. That's what God wanted from us. Zeh Yitnu. Give your zeh, give your focus. Declare yourself. Declare what you believe in. Declare who you are. Declare what you're loyal to. Declare what your values are. Declare what your principles are. Because when you're unfocused, when you're diffuse, it's not to anybody's advantage. You're not going anywhere. You're not growing anywhere. Because again, anytime it comes to a place where you need to push yourself a little bit, you'll say, no, I'm really like the other thing. I'm really with those people. I really believe in that stuff. And then all you're doing is spending your life shucking and jiving and never growing. Because if this is who I am, then this is what I need to be doing. The sin of the golden calf was 40 days after we were given the Torah. 40 days of incredible, absolute focus. We wanted out because we didn't want to be committed to anything. We didn't want to be defined by anything. But Rabbi is saying, if we're going to become anything, then we need to define ourselves. We need to focus ourselves. We need to identify who we are and what we believe in and what we're living for. Because once we do, then we have something to climb for, something to aspire to, something to push ourselves to be able to accomplish. We should have an amazing Shabbos. A Shabbos where in the air, this Shabbos is that ability to be able to identify ourselves, is that ability to be able to declare ourselves. We should grab onto it. Identify ourselves, know who we are, and know what it is we're spending our entire lives trying to climb towards and trying to achieve. Should have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing Shabbos.